1993 What if I told you there's a single 1993 penny out there, a coin most people have spent without a second thought, that could be worth hundreds, even thousands, in the right condition? Yes, a simple Lincoln penny, hiding in change jars and dresser drawers across America, could be one of the rarest treasures from the 1990s. Back in 1993, the U.S. Mint in Denver was producing millions of Lincoln cents. Most were ordinary, quickly forgotten, and spent into circulation. But a few, very few, came out unlike the rest. A slight variation in the die, a faint doubling on the lettering, or a perfect, untouched strike made these coins stand out. Imagine someone that year, maybe a young father buying a cup of coffee, handing over a handful of change, never realizing that one of those little copper-plated pennies would one day become a collector's dream. Over time, most of these coins disappeared into circulation. But some lucky souls, sharp-eyed collectors and curious hobbyists, began to notice something special about a handful of those 1993 Lincoln pennies. The 1993 Lincoln penny became special not just because of its age, but because of its exceptional strike quality and certain rare die variations. Some have strong doubling on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Others show minor planchet errors or sharp, proof-like surfaces, features that make collectors' hearts race. And when one of these coins appears in pristine, uncirculated condition, it can command serious money. Graded examples in the highest mint states have sold for hundreds, and some rare errors can cross the $1,000 mark. Stories circulate of people who unknowingly spent these rare 1993 pennies at gas stations or grocery stores, only to realize years later what they had lost. One collector shared that he found a flawless 1993 in his late father's coin jar, only after that jar had sat untouched for decades. Can you imagine that feeling? A tiny piece of history, sitting right under your nose, all those years. So here's what makes this coin special. First, it must be a 1993 penny with a small D mint mark right beneath the date. That means it was struck in Denver. The details on Lincoln's face should be crisp, with a clean and sharp rim. Some rare versions show subtle doubling on the lettering or a bright, almost mirror-like surface. And if you notice that the coin looks unusually perfect, no scratches, no wear, you might be holding a true gem worth far more than a single cent. If you suspect you've got one of these valuable 1993 Lincoln pennies, don't rush to sell it. Take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These are trusted names that certify coins and confirm their true market value. Even local coin dealers can help, especially those who've been in the trade for decades and know what to look for: that old jar in your kitchen, the one filled with pennies you've saved since your kids were young. It might just hold a piece of hidden history, a treasure from a simpler time. Every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth more than gold. So take a closer look, keep the thrill of discovery alive, and don't forget, subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the history hiding in plain sight. 1994 What if I told you that a simple 1994 penny, the same kind you might have tossed into a change jar decades ago, could be worth hundreds, even thousands, today? That's right, one small coin, hiding in plain sight, is turning ordinary folks into lucky discoverers overnight. And the most shocking part? It doesn't even have a mint mark. Back in the mid-1990s, America was buzzing with change, literally and figuratively. The Lincoln cent had already become a symbol of our nation's spirit, hard work, humility, and hope. Somewhere in those years, a small batch of 1994 pennies left the U.S. Mint missing a critical mark, the tiny D or P that tells where the coin was made. These no-mint mark pieces looked ordinary to the naked eye, yet beneath their simple copper-plated surface was a story that would one day stir collectors' hearts. Imagine an old farmer in Illinois, emptying his pockets after a long day, unknowingly dropping one of these into a coffee tin, a coin that could one day pay for a vacation or even a child's college tuition. So what makes the 1994 no-mint mark penny so special? It's all about rarity and mystery. Normally, every penny minted in Denver bears a tiny D, and those from Philadelphia may lack one, but in certain 1994 batches, something went wrong during production. The result was an error coin with crisp details, strong strikes, and that missing mint mark, making it a numismatic treasure. Collectors today seek these out because genuine no-mint mark 1994 Lincoln cents in pristine condition have become exceptionally hard to find, especially with sharp features of the Lincoln portrait and clean Monticello design on the reverse. There are countless stories of people who spent these rare pennies without realizing what they had. One man reportedly used a coffee can full of change to buy gas in the early 2000s, not knowing one of those coins was a valuable 1994 no-mint mark penny now worth hundreds. It's a reminder that sometimes, the treasure we're searching for has already passed through our hands. Don't let that be your story. If you have a 1994 penny, pick it up and take a good look. Check the area just below the date. There should be no tiny letter, no D, no S. The surface should have a clean, strong shine with Lincoln's details crisp and clear. Flip it over, the Monticello design should be well struck and free from fading. If yours looks untouched by time, it might just be one of the rare survivors. Before you get too excited, have it verified by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These experts can confirm if your coin is the real deal and give it an official grade, the kind of certification that transforms a lucky find into a collector's gem. So tonight, when you open that old coin jar or sift through the drawer of pennies you've kept for, someday, remember, one of them might just be your hidden fortune. The 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny proves that history still lives in our hands, waiting to be rediscovered. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where every coin tells a story, and where your next discovery might just change your life. 2002. What if I told you a simple penny from 2002, the kind you might have spent on candy or dropped in a change jar, could actually be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today? Yes, a plain old 2002 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has become one of the most talked about modern treasures hiding in plain sight across America. It all began in the early 2000s, when millions of Lincoln pennies rolled out of the Philadelphia Mint, but not all were quite the same. Among the sea of copper-coated coins, a few pieces emerged without a visible mint mark, and they weren't ordinary at all. Stories soon spread of collectors finding flawless, no mint mark, 2002 pennies in their pocket change, and coin shops began paying serious money for pristine examples. Imagine someone emptying their grandfather's old coin jar, only to find one of these little brown discs gleaming under the light, the same coin most people wouldn't even glance at twice. Here's the fascinating truth: the 2002 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins traditionally carry no letter mark. But what makes some of these pieces exceptional is their condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC. These high-grade examples, untouched by circulation, can sell for hundreds of dollars due to their rarity and perfection. Combine that with the nostalgia of Lincoln's portrait, a design that's been on our smallest coin since 1909, and you have a piece of modern history worth far more than its face value. Many folks have already spent these valuable coins without even knowing it. Some collectors recall the regret of realizing, years later, that the old pennies they gave away to a child's piggy bank or tossed into a tip jar could have been worth a small fortune. Don't let that be your story. Every time a coin leaves your hands unchecked, you might be letting go of a piece of treasure, a quiet reminder of how the smallest things can carry the biggest surprises. If you happen to have a 2002 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, pay attention to its shine, its edges, and its flawless surface. Look closely at Lincoln's profile and the fine details of the words, "In God We Trust." The sharper the design, the higher the potential value. Many collectors also note that perfectly centered strikes, clean rims, and vibrant red luster dramatically increase the desirability and price of this coin. To truly know if your penny is a hidden gem, have it checked by trusted grading companies like PCGS or NGC. They'll evaluate its condition and certify its value. A simple grading submission can turn your ordinary-looking penny into a verified collectible that buyers will line up for. So before you pass by that old coffee can of pennies sitting in your kitchen, take a moment to look closer. History has a funny way of hiding where we least expect it, in plain sight, inside the smallest coin we often overlook. Your 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be more than just change. It could be your little piece of American legacy. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where every coin tells a story, and maybe, just maybe, your next find will change everything. 1994 D. What if I told you there's a single penny from 1994, a simple, copper-colored coin most people have spent without a thought, that could be worth hundreds, even thousands today? Yes, that little 1994 D Lincoln penny with the Monticello design has stunned collectors across the country. It's one of those hidden treasures that could be sitting quietly in your change jar, waiting to change your life. Picture this: an older gentleman in Denver, sorting through a small box of coins he'd saved for decades. He thought they were just old memories from the 90s, nothing special. But as he looked closer, one coin caught his eye. The shine, the strange detail, the mint mark, something felt different. He later discovered that his ordinary-looking 1994 D penny wasn't ordinary at all. It was a rare mint error, a coin that slipped through the presses at the Denver Mint in a way few ever have. That single penny, once worth 1 cent, suddenly carried a story, and a value, that could make any collector's heart race. So what makes the 1994 D penny so special? A handful of these coins were struck with unique die errors, some slightly off-center, others showing doubling on Lincoln's profile or lettering, and a few featuring a strikingly crisp, deep design that stands out among all others. These coins come from a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning processes, and a few rare pieces slipped through with small but valuable imperfections. Collectors now pay big for them, especially those in high-grade condition or with visible die marks. Too many people have had one of these rare beauties pass right through their hands. Some were spent at gas stations, others thrown in parking lot donation boxes, never to be seen again. Imagine realizing you once held a coin worth hundreds of dollars, and gave it away for a pack of gum. Don't let that be your story. These coins are out there, and every day, people are waking up to find that their old change wasn't just spare, it was special. When you're holding your coins, look closely at that date, 1994. Then check under the date for that bold D mint mark from Denver. Study Lincoln's image carefully. Is there doubling on the letters, or on his face? Turn it over and look at the Monticello or the Lincoln Memorial design. Does the detail look sharper, or slightly misaligned? These small things could mean a big reward. That if you think you found one, don't guess, get it confirmed. Trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, turning your find into certified treasure. You can also visit local coin dealers or collectors' shows. Many experts are happy to help identify a gem like this. That old jar of pennies sitting in your kitchen or garage might just be your ticket to something extraordinary. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, it's the story of discovery, luck, and a little piece of American history in your hand. So take a moment tonight, pour those pennies out, and look closely. You never know what hidden piece of the past is waiting for you. And remember, subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1998. No, what if I told you a simple 1998 Lincoln penny, the kind you probably spent on a stick of gum years ago, could now be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. A penny that looks just like any other might actually be one of the most valuable pieces of modern American change, the mysterious 1998, no mint mark, Lincoln penny featuring the Monticello design error that has collectors buzzing today. Imagine this. A retired gentleman in Ohio was sorting through an old coffee can filled with pennies his late wife had saved over the years. Most were ordinary, dull copper tones, worn edges, nothing special. But one caught his eye. It looked normal at first, until he noticed something odd. The coin showed Lincoln on one side, but the reverse featured the Monticello, a design that should only appear on a Jefferson nickel. It was a minting mix-up so rare that experts believed only a handful could exist. That one penny, forgotten in a jar for decades, turned out to be worth a small fortune. So, what makes this coin so incredibly valuable? The 1998, no mint mark, Lincoln penny is a fascinating error, a result of a die mix-up at the Philadelphia Mint. During minting, a reverse meant for a Jefferson nickel was mistakenly paired with a Lincoln cent obverse. The result? A hybrid coin that should never have existed. These types of errors are nearly impossible to recreate and extremely scarce. Because the coin carries no mint mark, collectors believe it came from Philadelphia, where such minting anomalies occasionally slipped through unnoticed. Today, authenticated examples of this 1998 Lincoln Monticello error have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, and their value continues to climb as collectors hunt for more. Many people have already spent these rare pennies without ever realizing it. Some were given away in change, tossed into fountains, or rolled into bank deposits decades ago. Imagine handing away a tiny piece of American history that could have paid off a few bills, or even a vacation, all because it looked ordinary. It's a painful reminder that hidden treasures often pass right through our fingers without us ever knowing that. If you happen to have a 1998 Lincoln penny, take a close look. The obverse should feature President Lincoln as usual, but the reverse, instead of showing the Lincoln Memorial, displays Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's iconic home. The coin will have no mint mark, indicating it was struck in Philadelphia, and the detail will appear slightly off compared to normal cents. This unique combination is what makes the 1998 no mint mark Monticello Lincoln penny a modern legend among collectors. That if you think you found one, don't clean it or try to alter it. Get it verified through trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. Their authentication not only confirms your coin's legitimacy but can also dramatically increase its market value. Local coin dealers or shows can also help you get a professional opinion before you make any moves. So before you spend that penny or toss it back into the jar, take one more look. Because sometimes, the greatest treasures don't glitter, they hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with a keen eye and a little bit of heart to recognize them. That old jar in your kitchen. It might just hold your future. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the stories, and the fortunes, behind America's most mysterious coins. 2006. What if I told you, there's a humble penny from 2006 that collectors are chasing like buried treasure? A coin so ordinary looking, you might have spent it without a second thought, yet some of these have sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. It's the 2006 Lincoln Monticello penny, a small piece of copper that hides one of the most surprising mysteries of modern U.S. coinage. Back in 2006, millions of Lincoln cents rolled out of the Denver Mint, most just everyday change jingling in pockets across America. But here's where the story takes a turn. A handful of these coins came out with a strange, almost ghostly design flaw, one that collectors believe ties to a brief experimental run connected to the Monticello and westward journey designs of the early 2000s. Imagine finding one of those pennies today, the same kind of coin you once handed over for a cup of coffee at the corner store. For one lucky man in Colorado, that's exactly what happened. He found his rare 2006 penny while sorting through a jar his late father left behind, one penny that changed everything. The 2006 Lincoln penny isn't valuable because of gold or silver, it's valuable because of rarity and mystery. Some examples show unusual die errors, double strikes, and even faint traces of the Monticello design on the reverse, an impossible mix between the Lincoln and Jefferson designs. Experts call it a transitional anomaly, a minting mishap so rare that only a handful are known to exist. And collectors are paying serious money for them, especially pristine, uncirculated pieces. So many people have spent these rare coins without ever realizing it. Imagine, that coffee you bought in 2007 might have cost you a fortune. Many collectors believe thousands of these rare 2006 errors are still out there, sitting quietly in drawers, old jars, and boxes of loose change. Every day that passes, more of them disappear forever, lost to circulation. Don't let yours be one of them. When you pick up a 2006 penny, look closely. The mint mark beneath the date is your starting clue. It tells you it was struck in Denver. Next, study the reverse side under good light. Some rare examples show faint, ghost-like details from the Monticello nickel design, a trace of the Jefferson coin that should never be there. Others reveal doubling around Lincoln's eyes, letters, or the rim. Each tiny imperfection could mean a big payday. If you think you found something special, don't clean it, don't polish it, just protect it. Send it to PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading services in the world. They can authenticate, grade, and certify it, turning an ordinary penny into a verified collector's treasure. That old jar of change in your kitchen, it's more than just loose coins. It's history. It's memories. And maybe, it's your chance to hold a hidden gem that's been waiting for you all along. So before you spend that next penny, take a second look. Because one small what if I told you that a simple more than you ever imagined, the same kind you might have tossed into a change jar decades ago, could be worth hundreds, even thousands, today. That's right, one small coin, hiding in plain sight, is turning ordinary folks into lucky discoverers overnight. And the most shocking part? It doesn't even have a mint mark. Back in the mid-1990s, America was buzzing with change, literally and figuratively. The Lincoln cent had already become a symbol of our nation's spirit, hard work, humility, and hope. Somewhere in those years, a small batch of 1994 pennies left the U.S. Mint missing a critical mark, the tiny D, or P, that tells where the coin was made. These no-mint mark pieces looked ordinary to the naked eye, yet beneath their simple copper-plated surface was a story that would one day stir collectors' hearts. Imagine an old farmer in Illinois, emptying his pockets after a long day, unknowingly dropping one of these into a coffee tin, a coin that could one day pay for a vacation or even a child's college tuition. So what makes the 1994 no-mint mark penny so special? It's all about rarity and mystery. Normally, every penny minted in Denver bears a tiny D, and those from Philadelphia may lack one, but in certain 1994 batches, something went wrong during production. The result was an error coin with crisp details, strong strikes, and that missing mint mark, making it a numismatic treasure. Collectors today seek these out because genuine no-mint mark 1994 Lincoln cents in pristine condition have become exceptionally hard to find, especially with sharp features of the Lincoln portrait and clean Monticello design on the reverse. There are countless stories of people who spent these rare pennies without realizing what they had. One man reportedly used a coffee can full of change to buy gas in the early 2000s, not knowing one of those coins was a valuable 1994 no-mint mark penny now worth hundreds. It's a reminder that sometimes, the treasure we're searching for has already passed through our hands. Don't let that be your story. If you have a 1994 penny, pick it up and take a good look. Check the area just below the date. There should be no tiny letter, no D, no S. The surface should have a clean, strong shine with Lincoln's details crisp and clear. Flip it over, the Monticello design should be well struck and free from fading. If yours looks untouched by time, it might just be one of the rare survivors. Before you get too excited, have it verified by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These experts can confirm if your coin is the real deal and give it an official grade, the kind of certification that transforms a lucky find into a collector's gem. So tonight, when you open that old coin jar or sift through the drawer of pennies you've kept for, someday, remember, one of them might just be your hidden fortune. The 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny proves that history still lives in our hands, waiting to be rediscovered. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where every coin tells a story, and where your next discovery might just change your life. 2006 What if I told you, there's a humble penny from 2006 that collectors are chasing like buried treasure. A coin so ordinary looking, you might have spent it without a second thought, yet some of these have sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. It's the 2006 D. Lincoln Monticello penny, a small piece of copper that hides one of the most surprising mysteries of modern U.S. coinage. Back in 2006, millions of Lincoln cents rolled out of the Denver Mint, most just everyday change jingling in pockets across America. But here's where the story takes a turn. A handful of these coins came out with a strange, almost ghostly design flaw, one that collectors believe ties to a brief experimental run connected to the Monticello and westward journey designs of the early 2000s. Imagine finding one of those pennies today, the same kind of coin you once handed over for a cup of coffee at the corner store. For one lucky man in Colorado, that's exactly what happened. He found his rare 2006 D penny while sorting through a jar his late father left behind, one penny that changed everything. The 2006 D Lincoln penny isn't valuable because of gold or silver, it's valuable because of rarity and mystery. Some examples show unusual die errors, double strikes, and even faint traces of the Monticello design on the reverse, an impossible mix between the Lincoln and Jefferson designs. Experts call it a transitional anomaly, a minting mishap so rare that only a handful are known to exist. And collectors are paying serious money for them, especially pristine, uncirculated pieces. So many people have spent these rare coins without ever realizing it. Imagine, that coffee you bought in 2007 might have cost you a fortune. Many collectors believe thousands of these rare 2006 D errors are still out there, sitting quietly in drawers, old jars, and boxes of loose change. Every day that passes, more of them disappear forever, lost to circulation. Don't let yours be one of them. When you pick up a 2006 D penny, look closely. The D mint mark beneath the date is your starting clue. It tells you it was struck in Denver. Next, study the reverse side under good light. Some rare examples show faint, ghost-like details from the Monticello nickel design, a trace of the Jefferson coin that should never be there. Others reveal doubling around Lincoln's eyes, letters, or the rim. Each tiny imperfection could mean a big payday. If you think you found something special, don't clean it, don't polish it, just protect it. Send it to PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading services in the world. They can authenticate, grade, and certify it, turning an ordinary penny into a verified collector's treasure. That old jar of change in your kitchen, it's more than just loose coins. It's history. It's memories. And maybe, it's your chance to hold a hidden gem that's been waiting for you all along. So before you spend that next penny, take a second look. Because one small coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. 1997 D. What if I told you that a single 1997 D penny, the kind you might have tossed in a drawer or spent without thinking, could now be one of the most sought-after modern Lincoln cents in America? Yes, a simple copper-colored coin with the face of Lincoln and the D from Denver Mint, now turning heads among serious collectors and coin hunters everywhere. It all started with a collector in Colorado who was sorting through an old coffee can of pennies his grandfather left behind. Among the dull, ordinary cents, one coin gleamed just a little differently, a 1997 D Lincoln penny with a strange, sharp detail on the lettering and a doubled image on Lincoln's profile. That small discovery led to a wave of attention in the coin world, as experts began finding that some 1997 D cents carried rare minting anomalies, from double dies to off-center strikes, that could easily slip through unnoticed. What seemed like a common pocket change turned out to be a hidden piece of minting history. So, what makes the 1997 D Lincoln penny so special? The Denver Mint that year produced millions of coins, but a small number were struck with subtle, unusual errors, faint doubling on "In God We Trust," a slightly distorted D mint mark, or even an unusually strong strike that gives the coin a mirror-like brilliance. These rare variations are now being sought after by collectors willing to pay hundreds, and in some cases, even thousands of dollars for pristine examples. The combination of a strong strike, mint luster, and rare die errors makes this coin a modern legend in the making. Imagine this: a man in Kansas once spent one of these rare pennies at a gas station, unaware that the same coin could have fetched him over $1,000 today. Countless others have done the same, never realizing that what they gave away for a stick of gum could have been a small fortune. Don't let that happen to you. Because every time someone says, "I used to have one of those," that's a small piece of history, and value, lost forever. When you come across a 1997 penny, flip it and look closely under good light. You should see the D mint mark just below the year. Examine Lincoln's profile and the letters carefully. Any doubling, extra thickness, or unusual shine could mean you're holding something special. The coin should have sharp, bold details and a clean, even finish, signs of a strong strike from a well-preserved die. If it feels different or looks slightly off, it might be worth more than you think. If you believe you found one, don't second-guess it. Get it verified by professionals like PCGS or NGC. They specialize in grading and certifying rare coins. Even a modest error or unique strike can drastically increase its collector value once authenticated. So tonight, before you turn in, take a moment to open that old jar of change sitting in your kitchen. The next coin you pick up might just be the 1997 D Lincoln penny that changes your story. Every coin holds a piece of America's past, and maybe, your next treasure. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1951. What if I told you, a simple 1951 Lincoln penny, the same kind that once jingled in your father's pocket, could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today. It's a small copper time capsule from post-war America, moment frozen in metal, and most people walk right past it without ever realizing what they're holding. Picture this, it's 1951. The war is over, gas costs 27 cents, and a young man named Thomas Lincoln, no relation to the president, but proud to share the name, walks into a corner store in San Francisco. He buys a newspaper and receives his change, among it, a shiny new penny with an S mint mark glinting under the light. That little coin, struck at the San Francisco Mint, travels across decades, through piggy banks, coffee cans, and coin jars, until it ends up forgotten in someone's attic. 70 years later, a collector finds it, and discovers it's not just an ordinary penny at all. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny stands out not just for its age, but for its remarkable craftsmanship and scarcity in high grades. Though millions were minted, only a tiny fraction survived without scratches, wear, or discoloration. The San Francisco Mint produced fewer flawless strikes that year, and today, collectors are willing to pay hundreds, even over 1,000, for a pristine example graded MS-67 or higher. What makes it truly special is how few people realize its potential value, hiding in plain sight in old coin jars, drawers, and family collections across America. So many stories begin the same way, someone cleaning out a loved one's belongings, rolling up old change, and spending it without a second thought. One woman in Oregon did just that, unknowingly passing a near-perfect 1951 penny over the counter for a cup of coffee. That same coin later surfaced at an auction and sold for hundreds of dollars. Sometimes the real treasure slips right through our fingers, simply because we didn't know what to look for. If you've got a 1951 penny, turn it over carefully. On the front, look just below the date. If there's a tiny S mark from San Francisco, you might be holding something special. Check the shine, the smoothness, the crispness of Lincoln's image and the wheat stalks on the reverse. The more flawless it looks, the greater the value it may hold. If you think you found one that stands out, don't just tuck it away, have it verified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can confirm its authenticity and condition, and their certification can dramatically increase what collectors are willing to pay. So before you dismiss that old coin jar in your kitchen or the dusty coffee can in your garage, take another look. That humble 1951 Lincoln penny could be a piece of history waiting to change your story. Every coin carries a legacy, and yours might just carry value beyond imagination. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1952. What if I told you that a single penny from your childhood, maybe one that jingled in your pocket decades ago, could now be worth a small fortune? Imagine holding a piece of history that has survived generations, tucked quietly in your change, waiting for you to discover it. Today, we're uncovering a rare gem that collectors are hunting across the country, the 1952 Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny. Picture this, in a small Midwestern town, a grandmother was cleaning out an old cookie jar when she noticed a penny unlike any she had seen. It gleamed with a subtle difference, almost whispering stories of the past. She remembered her father handing her pennies from his pocket, each one a small token of love and care. That single coin, a 1952 penny with the Monticello design etched on the back, carried decades of history, quietly waiting to reveal its true value. This penny isn't just metal, it's a bridge to the era of Lincoln, Monticello, and the America we remember from our youth. What makes this coin so extraordinary is its rarity and its story. The D mint mark tells us it was struck in Denver, and the Monticello depiction is a special variant sought after by collectors around the world. Over the years, coins like this have become highly sought after because of their historical significance and scarcity in excellent condition. It's not just a penny, it's a collectible piece of Americana that can fetch impressive sums among serious collectors. There are countless stories of these coins being unknowingly spent on coffee or tucked away in jars, passed down through generations without anyone realizing the treasure they held. Imagine the regret of letting a piece of history slip through your fingers, only to discover years later that it could have been worth thousands. This isn't just nostalgia, it's an opportunity that's too valuable to ignore. To know if you might have won, look closely at the date, 1952. Check the reverse side for the D mint mark near the bottom, a small but crucial detail. The Monticello design is crisp and unmistakable, and the coin's overall condition can make all the difference in its value. Hold it in your hand, examine it under light, and you may find yourself holding more than just a penny. You're holding history. That if you think you found one, the next step is simple. Trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC, or an experienced rare coin dealer, can authenticate your coin and reveal its true value. A quick verification could turn that forgotten penny into a prized collectible, that old jar in your kitchen, that faded coin in your wallet. It might just hold your future. Every coin has a story, every penny a memory, and today could be the day you uncover something extraordinary. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures. We help you find history hiding in plain sight, one coin at a time. That if you want, I can also rewrite this version to make it even punchier for YouTube Shorts, keeping the storytelling tight but with maximum suspense and emotional pull in under 90 seconds. That would make it perfect for grabbing older viewers scrolling quickly. 1953. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your old coin jar could be worth more than a month's paycheck, or even a small fortune? Imagine holding a piece of history from the early 1950s, a coin that quietly traveled through decades, surviving in pockets, purses, and piggy banks, only to be discovered by someone who recognized its hidden value. Today, we're uncovering the story of a coin that could change everything. The 1953 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny. Picture this: a retiree cleaning out the attic, brushing dust off a glass jar, when a familiar copper glint catches their eye. Among the loose change and forgotten nickels was a penny unlike any other. Its design, crisp yet worn in places, told a story of post-war America, of presidents on coins and the people who carried them. That small, unassuming Lincoln penny, minted in 1953 without any mint mark, had quietly witnessed generations, tucked away in purses, wallets, and jar collections, waiting for someone who could see its worth. Stories like these are more common than you think, and they remind us that history is often hiding in the simplest objects. What makes this coin so extraordinary is its rarity. The 1953 no-mint mark penny, especially in well-preserved condition, is highly sought after by collectors across the United States. Unlike regular pennies, its production was limited, and surviving specimens in strong condition are scarce. Every detail matters: the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of Monticello on the reverse, and the absence of a mint mark tell a story of careful minting and historical significance. For those who truly appreciate history and American coins, this penny is not just currency, it's a treasure. And yet, so many of these coins have passed quietly through hands, spent unknowingly at grocery stores or given away as change. Imagine finding out that the coin you spent as a child could now be worth thousands. There's a sense of urgency here, a call to look carefully at the pennies hiding in jars, drawers, and old collections. History rewards the observant, and every moment you wait could be another missed opportunity. When searching for this treasure, focus on the details. You'll want a penny dated 1953 with no mint mark. Examine Lincoln's face carefully and turn it over to see Monticello, the home of Thomas Jefferson, perfectly centered and detailed. Its copper color, any slight wear, and overall condition play a huge role in its value. Even small differences in the coin's surface can make the difference between a common penny and a prized collectible. If you think you might have one, the next step is simple: have it verified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, or consult a trusted coin dealer with expertise in historical U.S. coins. They'll confirm authenticity, condition, and give you a clear picture of its value in today's market. That jar of coins sitting quietly on your kitchen counter, the drawer filled with spare change, or the forgotten pennies in an old tin, any one of them could be the key to unlocking decades of history and wealth. Don't overlook what's right in front of you. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures and join us in uncovering the stories and fortunes hidden in plain sight, because every coin has a tale, and every tale deserves to be told. 1954. What if I told you that a single penny tucked away in your childhood coin jar could be worth a small fortune today? Imagine holding in your hand a piece of history, a tiny copper disc that has quietly traveled through decades, whispering stories of a simpler time. One coin, seemingly ordinary, could change the way you think about all those coins you've collected over the years. Back in 1954, the U.S. Mint quietly produced a special Lincoln penny with a D mint mark, commemorating Thomas Jefferson's beloved Monticello alongside the familiar Lincoln portrait. For decades, these pennies circulated unnoticed, passing through the hands of children, storekeepers, and pocket change collectors, each one carrying a silent story. There's a legend of a man who found one of these pennies in his father's old coin collection, tucked behind decades of forgotten nickels and dimes, and didn't realize its significance until years later. The moment he did, it was like discovering a hidden treasure from the past, a tangible connection to American history. What makes the 1954 D Monticello Lincoln penny so rare is its combination of historical charm, limited mintage, and pristine preservation in top collections. The D mint mark shows it was struck in Denver, and its careful craftsmanship has made it highly sought after by collectors nationwide. Unlike common pennies you find in your wallet today, this coin represents a time when every detail mattered, and that story is what drives collectors to pay thousands for coins that were once just spare change. Too many people let these pennies slip away. There's the story of a grandmother who spent her jar of coins without ever checking carefully, unknowingly giving away several Monticello pennies at the local store. Imagine what could have been, a simple mistake turned into a lifelong regret. That's why every coin you've ever tucked away matters. Even a coin that seems ordinary could be your ticket to discovering a hidden treasure. If you want to know whether you might hold one of these valuable pennies, look closely at the date, 1954. Check for the small D beneath the date, marking it from the Denver Mint. Examine the details carefully. The Monticello building should be clearly visible on the reverse side. Even subtle features, like sharp edges and strong copper color, can make the difference between a common coin and one worth a collector's fortune. To be absolutely certain, get your penny professionally graded by trusted organizations like PCGS or NGC, or consult a reputable coin dealer who specializes in rare U.S. coins. A quick professional verification can confirm the coin's authenticity and show you exactly how valuable it is. That old jar sitting in your kitchen, the coins your grandparents left behind, or even the change tucked in drawers, it might just hold your future. Each penny carries a story, a piece of history, and a chance to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden gems hiding in plain sight, connecting you to America's history, one coin at a time. 1955. Imagine reaching into a dusty old jar on your kitchen counter and finding a single penny from 1955, and realizing that coin could be worth thousands today. What if that tiny piece of history, one you may have thought was just spare change, held the power to transform your collection, or even your life? Back in the quiet streets of mid-century America, families carried pennies like these in their pockets and purses, passing them from generation to generation. The 1955 Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny is more than just metal, it's a snapshot of an era, a relic from a time when life moved slower and the smallest treasures held great meaning. Collectors often tell tales of grandmothers discovering them tucked away in old coin jars, their eyes widening as they realized the significance of what had been sitting in plain sight for decades. What makes this 1955 penny extraordinary is its flawless no mint mark, paired with the classic Monticello reverse design, a design that captures the spirit of America's past. Coins from this year are already highly sought after, but the no mint mark variety is rarer than most, making it a true gem for collectors. It isn't just the age or design, it's the story, the rarity, and the craftsmanship that puts this penny in such high demand among passionate coin enthusiasts across the country. There are countless stories of these pennies being overlooked, spent on coffee, or given away without a second thought. Someone once handed their 1955 no mint mark penny to a cashier, only to hear later that it had sold at auction for thousands. Every missed coin is a story left untold, and that's why it's so important to check the jars, drawers, and old piggy banks where history might be hiding quietly, waiting for the right eyes to see its true worth. When searching, look closely at the date, 1955, crisp and clear. Notice the Monticello design on the back, perfectly struck and intact. Examine the absence of a mint mark. It's the key feature that sets this coin apart from the more common 1955 pennies. Even a gentle flip of the coin can reveal subtle details that indicate its authenticity and rarity. If you suspect you found a genuine 1955 no mint mark Monticello penny, take it to a trusted dealer or get it certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Verification ensures not only its value but also preserves its history for generations to come. That jar in your kitchen, that forgotten envelope of coins, it could be holding a piece of history that changes everything. Don't let these treasures pass unnoticed. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, and let us guide you in uncovering the history hiding in plain sight, one coin at a time. Because sometimes, the smallest things carry the greatest stories. 1957. What if I told you that a single penny sitting quietly in your old coin jar could be worth thousands today? Imagine holding a piece of history that could unlock stories from the past, and even change your future. Today, we're talking about a rare treasure many collectors dream of, the 1957 de Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny. Back in the late 1950s, pennies like these were passing from hand to hand every day, unnoticed, part of ordinary life. But one quiet afternoon, a retiree cleaning out his grandfather's attic stumbled upon a dusty tin filled with coins from decades past. Among them, shining faintly under the sunlight, was a 1957 de Monticello penny. The man couldn't believe it, a coin that carried not just monetary value, but a story, a connection to the past, and a piece of American heritage. This wasn't just a penny, it was a doorway into history. So, what makes this coin so special? The 1957 de Monticello penny is a rare combination of mint mark and design that collectors actively hunt for. The D stands for the Denver Mint, and subtle features on the Monticello depiction make certain examples exceptionally rare. These pennies are in high demand because they aren't just coins, they are tangible pieces of history, reminders of the Lincoln era, and an opportunity many wish they had discovered sooner. Many people have let these pennies slip through their fingers, tossing them into cash registers or piggy banks, unaware of their true value. One story tells of a man who sold a collection of these coins for mere cents per piece at a yard sale, only to discover years later that collectors would have paid hundreds, or even thousands, for them. Don't let your history vanish unnoticed. That if you're searching for your own hidden treasure, look closely at the date, 1957, and the Denver D mint mark. Examine the Monticello design carefully. Collectors notice subtle differences that make the coin highly valuable. Even if you're not sure, it's worth a closer look because rarity often hides in plain sight. To confirm your find, trusted coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate the penny. Expert dealers and local coin shows are also invaluable. They can help you uncover the true story and value behind your coin. That old jar tucked away on your kitchen shelf, the coins you've collected over decades, they might just be hiding a fortune, or at the very least, a piece of living history. Don't let it pass by. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover stories and treasures hiding in plain sight, and rediscover the magic of the past, one coin at a time. 1958. What if a single penny from your childhood could be worth more than your weekly groceries today? Imagine holding a coin in your hand that traveled through decades, quietly witnessing history, only to be worth a small fortune now. That's exactly what happens when you stumble across a 1958 Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny, a piece of history hiding quietly in your pocket change. Back in the late 1950s, pennies like these were minted for everyday Americans, intended for nothing more than buying a loaf of bread or a soda at the corner store. But one lucky collector once discovered a jar of pennies in his grandfather's attic, untouched for decades. Among them, gleaming softly in the sunlight, was a coin unlike the others. It was a 1958 Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny. A simple penny that had carried with it the legacy of one of America's most iconic leaders and now, quietly, a promise of great value. What makes this coin so extraordinary is hidden in its tiny details. The S mint mark indicates it was struck in San Francisco, a mint known for producing limited quantities of this particular design. Collectors today are hunting for this coin because fewer of them survived in pristine condition, especially with the Monticello design detail on the reverse side. Its age, minting, and historical significance have made it one of the most sought-after pennies for collectors across the country. Countless stories exist of coins like this being spent without a second thought, lost in couch cushions or given to children as toys. One family once discovered hundreds of pennies in a jar, only to realize too late that several of them were 1958's Monticello pennies worth a small fortune. Don't let history slip through your fingers. Every coin has a story, and some of those stories are worth more than gold. To spot this treasure, you'll want to check the date, 1958. Look carefully for the S mint mark below Lincoln's bust, a small yet powerful sign of rarity. Examine the reverse for the detailed Monticello design. Its crisp lines and clarity can make all the difference. A coin in good condition, with these features intact, can attract serious collectors and high price. Once you found a potential 1958's Monticello penny, the safest way to confirm its authenticity and value is through trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. Expert dealers can also guide you in understanding its condition and market demand, ensuring you know exactly what treasure you hold. That old jar tucked away in your kitchen, or the dusty coin collection in the attic, may be holding more than memories. They could be holding history and wealth waiting to be discovered. Don't overlook the treasures hiding in plain sight. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the stories and fortunes behind the coins that shaped our past. Your next discovery could be as close as your pocket.